Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited for today's video. We have Cash joining us right here. She's currently falling asleep, so hopefully she's gonna be good for us during this video. Fingers crossed, please pray. But yeah, in today's video, I am going to be talking about my decision not to breastfeed, why I decided not to breastfeed, and yeah, hopefully it will help you if you're in that place and you're trying to figure that out, or if maybe you're just curious why I decided not to breastfeed. Stay tuned, because we're gonna talk about it in today's video. And Cash has a special message for everybody watching that I think is pretty funny. Just show them what your shirt says, girl. What does it say? It says, don't be salty. That's right. Tell them, don't be salty to my mom. Okay, we're not gonna be salty today. We're gonna be respectful and nice. And if you have been pregnant or you are pregnant and you've maybe been in this place where you're deciding, should I breastfeed? Do I wanna breastfeed? Do I wanna do? You're probably well aware that it comes with it its fair share of criticism. Holy smokes, okay? Literally, I did not realize just how controversial this subject really is. And I've got some funny stories for you, but let's back it up, let's backtrack. So after finding out I was pregnant, you know, I was just in that place where, I don't know, I guess I didn't even really like question if I was gonna breastfeed or if I was or I wasn't going to. It was just one of those things that I think I just was like, well, I mean, I guess I'm going to. I mean, other people do, so I guess I'm gonna breastfeed. And I don't know, it just really wasn't like a huge, I didn't really give it a whole lot of thought. And so time started to progress in my pregnancy, and you know, you go to the doctor and they ask for your birth plan and are you going to breastfeed, are you not going to breastfeed, and all of those things. And I started to think about it a little bit more as we would be at certain family functions or different, you know, things and get-togethers, and just hearing people talk about breastfeeding and giving me advice on breastfeeding. To be honest, I started to feel like a ton of anxiety. And so I'm gonna, I guess, give you guys kind of how I knew that breastfeeding wasn't the choice for me. And the first thing was that, you know, as I started to hear stories about breastfeeding and all of the things that come along with it, and it's beautiful. It is a beautiful thing. I actually did it in the hospital till I got home, and I'll give you more information on that. But let me preface it by saying, you know, I am not against breastfeeding. I think that if that is the decision that you feel is best for your body, that you should do it. And I think as a, I don't know, just as a community as a whole, that we as women can do better at that, at supporting one another and championing each other in the decisions that we make, even if, you know, it's not the same decision, even if it's a different decision than maybe, I don't know, I guess, we would make, that we champion each other in it, because every person's different, every body is different, every pregnancy is different. And so just learning to really support each other and champion each other, I think, is just really huge. And so hopefully we can do that here on my channel and through this video. And so, yeah, so first thing, like I said, just being at gatherings and just hearing about your nipples cracking and bleeding, and I'm just gonna say it, just the horror stories of breastfeeding did not make me want to do it. Just being flat out honest. I was like, I just started feeling so much anxiety thinking about it. I remember, you know, after, I don't know, just a couple weeks, I was thinking about this, like, do I really want to do it? Do I not want to do it? Has anybody even decided not to do it? Is that even a thing? Because I didn't even know anybody who decided not to breastfeed. It was like, you just do it unless there's an issue or your milk doesn't come in. Like, do people actually decide not to do it? And so I went on Google one day and I just Googled, I don't want to breastfeed. Literally, that was my Google search. I don't want to breastfeed. And I just wanted to see if there were other women that were in the same position as I was. And sure enough, I came across, you know, some different blog articles and things from women who were in the same place. You know, for them, it didn't give them the warm, fuzzy feelings when they thought about doing it, or, you know, the desire to want to do it, and the overwhelming feeling of that they didn't have. In fact, they described a lot of what I felt internally, which was, you know, anxiety and feeling overwhelmed. And, you know, one of the things for me is, look, I get it. You have a baby, your schedule now adapts to their schedule. You know, being 31, having really been set in my routines, and my life is very busy, and life slows down 100% when you have a baby. I realized for me that, you know, I was trying to think about, okay, how is this gonna work? Me breastfeeding and still, you know, maintaining some sort of normality in my life and consistency in my life with the other responsibilities that I have. And because for me, that makes me feel good, being able to, you know, to go to the gym or do just the things that I do in my life, it makes me feel good. And so when I would think about breastfeeding and just really all of the work that it entails, because it is a lot of work. And you mamas who breastfeed, I give it up to you. You guys are literally my hero, because Lord knows it's a lot. You know, you are the only one getting up in the middle of the night with them to feed. You know, your husband can't really help you in that. And so it's a lot. And so like I said, I started thinking about it. I went online, I started reading some articles. And please know, I'm not telling you what to do if you are pregnant and you're in this position. I just am sharing my story with you and my decision with you, just to, I don't know, be an extra voice out there that might give you, I don't know, might help you if you're in the same spot. So I started reading these articles, and these women were saying the same thing, like just hearing about what happens to your nipples and, you know, how painful it is. And then also, this is something that people don't talk about. And I am going to say it because I actually had a family member ask me about this in my decision not to breastfeed, because they are thinking about getting pregnant, and it actually is a thought that's crossed their mind as well. Just gonna be honest, like for me, I correlate. And I totally know that it's 100% not a sexual thing, but I'm just being honest. Like that for me is an area where I find pleasure. And so the thought of like a baby on my nipple was just like, it was very hard for me to separate the two, even though obviously, I mean, you separate it in your mind, but it just weirded me freaking out, just to be honest, because like I said, for me, that is a point of, and maybe this is TMI for you guys, these videos, we're getting to know each other a whole lot better, okay? So for me, it's a point of pleasure. And so it was like trying to separate that for me was another thing in my mind that I was like, oh my gosh. And then I wasn't sure that I would ever get pleasure again from, you know, and I'm sure a lot of you out there that breastfeed, you're probably like, oh no, you do. For me, the thought of, I don't know, like you're just, what happens to your, you know, physically, these are my thoughts, you know, what happens to your body, what happens to your, you know, your nipples through breastfeeding, you know, they get tough. And I just didn't know if I would ever even get pleasure again through that, or if I would ruin myself, honestly, for sex because I had breastfed. And I'm just being honest. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but these are the thoughts in my head. And so yeah, I was throwing around all of these ideas, and I came to a point where I was like, you know what? I think I'm not gonna do it. I don't think it's gonna be the best thing for me. And I ended up coming actually across another article, which is super fascinating. And basically it was a study done on women who suffered from postpartum depression. And what's crazy is that a lot of women who had decided not to breastfeed in their pregnancy, like that was the decision they made, and they were set on that. They did a study on women who actually changed their minds and decided to breastfeed, and because of social pressure or family pressure, you know, whatever that might be, or fear of being looked at and being judged and criticized, so they decided to do it. And what happened was the large majority of women who changed their minds, actually their risk for postpartum, most of them actually ended up getting postpartum depression because it originally wasn't the decision that they wanted to make. And it makes sense. I was reading it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this totally makes sense, because ultimately you're doing something that you didn't want to do. And you're doing it not for you, you're doing it for other people. And so there's this resentment, and which actually opens you up further to a higher chance and a higher risk of getting postpartum depression. And I honestly, as I thought about it and the thought of doing it, that was how I felt. I was like, I felt like I was, like I said, the anxiety, I couldn't breathe. It made me feel trapped. I don't know. It's just, and I know that, you know, that might sound crazy, but that was how I felt. And so I remember talking to Sean about it and just letting him know, like, babe, I don't think I'm gonna breastfeed. And he's so supportive. He was like, do whatever you wanna do. And you know, the honest truth is, like, we as women sacrifice so much. We give up so much for our kids. And I don't care if it comes across as selfish or whatever. It was like, that's the one thing that I get, you know, I get pleasure, and I just don't know if I wanna sacrifice. I don't know if I want to sacrifice that too, you know? I mean, let's just be real. And when I don't have to, you know, I was formula fed. I turned out amazing. I've never had any sicknesses. I've never broken any bones. And it was really funny. Sean actually went to the hospital, one of the doctor's visits with me. And this is, I think, another reason why women end up cowering is because, man, the pressure that they put on you at the hospital is crazy. It is insane. I mean, every doctor's visit, it was like, are you gonna breastfeed? Are you gonna breastfeed? What about breastfeeding? Make sure you breastfeed, because breastfeeding is the best. Breast is best. It's like, good Lord, like, what about us women who, that's not our birth plan. That's not ultimately what we want to do, what we feel is best for us. And I remember I went to one doctor's appointment, and Sean actually was with me, and I've had this little string sticking out. Let's tuck that in. Anyways, and Sean was with me, and the doctor, you know, asked me, are you planning on breastfeeding? And I said, no. And he went into his spiel. It was like, well, you know, breastfeeding, it reduces the risk of this, and, you know, broken bones and diabetes and all of this stuff. And Sean just interrupted him because, I don't know, a lot of you don't know this, but Sean actually, he has blood sugar issues. He struggles with type 2 diabetes. And he's like, well, listen, I got diabetes and I've broken almost every bone, and I was breastfed till I was like 1.5. And that's the truth. Homeboy was breastfed for, he had teeth, okay? It was a long time. So, and you know, and that might be the case for some kids. Maybe they end up being healthier, but I don't know. And the doctor quickly just was like, okay, well, whatever you guys decide to do. And Sean was like, yeah, that's right. Like, don't come after my woman. You know what I mean? He was like, better back up. And so I'm really thankful for that. So what I had ended up deciding to do was I came up with, you know, a compromise that I would breastfeed in the hospital. I'd give it a shot. I'd see how I did with it. I was like 99.9% sure that I was gonna come home and not want to breastfeed, but for the sake of being able to say I did it, I decided I'll do it in the hospital, and if I'm not feeling it, then we're done. We're gonna go to formula when we get home. And it was hilarious because the first time I put her on, my face was like this. I was like, okay, we're doing this. I was like, literally, my face was cringing, and Sean was like, you all right, babe? I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get through this. We're getting through it. And he's like, just a couple more days, just get through it in the hospital. And I did that for two reasons. One, I wanted to, you know, further confirm the decision I had made. Two, I also just didn't want to hear the crap in the hospital, because you're tired, you just pushed a baby out, and you're like, you know, I don't want to deal with the pressure of people coming in and giving me crap for not breastfeeding. So I just decided, do it. And then I did it. I got through it in the hospital, and oh my gosh, my nipples were so sore. They were bruised. Like I said, I give it up to you women who breastfeed, because it is no joke. So we got home from the hospital, and I switched her to formula, and she did great. She's been awesome. She has no issues with her formula. Sean helps me in the middle of the night. In fact, for my baby shower, we got a baby Breeza, which, if you don't know what that is gonna be in my top products that you must get. That's if you're gonna be formula feeding. But it's basically like a baby Keurig, and you put the formula on the top, you press a button, spits out a bottle in like 5 seconds. You get to pick what temperature you want it. If you want it room temp, body temp, or slightly warmer than body temp. And whoever invented that, thank you. Just thank you. So yeah, we have that in our room, and literally I can be like, hey babe, can you help me? And he'll get up and he'll make a bottle. And so it's worked out so well for us. I'm able to do all the things that I did before, that I wanted to continue to do. I'm able to get her on a really good schedule, myself on a schedule, and it's just really worked for us. And like I said, there's no judgment, no criticism. I think it ultimately comes down to the decision that you want to make, and whatever you feel like is going to be best for your child. I know some people have asked, you know, did your breast milk dry up pretty quickly? And it came in, and it hurt like a mama. Let me tell you, it came in, and my sisters had given me some advice. They're like, cabbage, get the cabbage. So I did. I know some people say cabbage increases their milk supply, but I put cold cabbage, you know, in my sports bra for probably 2 days and just kept, you know, it would start wilting and I just take it out and we would, you know, reinsert the cabbage. Sean's like, baby, got some produce coming out of your bra. And I'm like, yeah, this is what we do as women. So it dried it up though really quick, only a couple days, and my, you know, the swelling went down. And I mean, the milk didn't dry up completely for probably like 2 weeks. It's still, you know, I had to continue to wear a sports bra or else I would like start leaking. But as long as you're not breastfeeding, it's gonna dry up quickly, and that's what it did. And I, you know, thankfully I got her the colostrum in the beginning, and you know, got her on formula, so she wasn't used to my breast milk yet, which was good. We switched her to formula, and she's been a little perfect little peach ever since. So she's healthy, she's growing. And what was funny is when I went to the doctor for her last checkup, the doctor was like, wow, she is growing so great. She looks so great. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. And she was like, you're breastfeeding? And I was like, nope, I'm on formula. She's on formula. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, well, it's working for her, so keep it up. And yeah, so that's the story. That's ultimately why I decided not to breastfeed. I hope that helps some of you that are out there. You're in the spot where you're like, I don't know, do I want to do it? Do I not want to do it? I just want to tell you, you have a choice. You do. You have a choice, and don't let anybody put pressure on you. You know, if that is the decision that you want to make whatever decision is going to work best for you, because ultimately there is no trophy. At the end of this race of pregnancy, they are the trophy. She is my little golden statue, baby girl. Oh, you're so cute, you're my little squish. Anyway, yeah, they are the trophy. Not if you breastfed, if you didn't breastfeed, if you got drugs, if you didn't get drugs. Listen, there's no trophy. So do what works best for you. And I think as women, we could support each other a lot more in that and champion each other in that, and it would be just really awesome, you know, because mom shaming is just really not nice, right? Right, Cash? That's why we wore our Don't Be Salty. That's why we wore our Don't Be Salty onesie today. So that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that it helps you, like I said, or maybe you're just intrigued to know somebody that decided not to do it. That was me. If you have any questions, drop a comment below and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, if there's anything else you'd like to know, decisions I've made, pregnancy things, you know, baby stuff, I'm gonna be doing a video on my top baby products that are lifesavers for you guys as well, because I know I have quite a few that are pregnant and are expecting soon, so I will be letting you know about that, as well as some more vlogs. And I'd love to know, like I said, any other vlogs you guys would be interested in me making, if you want more family ones, if you want hauls, yeah, whatever you're in the mood for. So yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video. You wanna say bye? Say signing off, guys. We'll see you in the next video. We love you.